my name is Rich, and I play bass for Highly Suspect. And I play a P bass that I upgraded to a PJ. I put Seymour Duncan's in it and added a J pickup. And I put a Japanese, like a 94 Japanese P bass neck on it, and it plays really nice. I like it a lot. I sandpapered the back because it was kind of sticky, so I did like a 300 grit. The body is a 94 Mexican, and I got that because I couldn't afford an American one, and I wanted to get an old body that was at least 20 years old because the wood is petrified, and you get more resonance out of petrified wood. So old is key, at least 20 years old. I put all new components on it, but the body that resonates itself is old. And I put really beefy pickups on it because I wanted to get a nice fat sound out of it, because that's kind of the general theme of our music is like just big, fat, you know. I honestly don't have any kind of loyalty to strings. I try out different strings all the time. I use like heavy strings if I can get them, like, you know, heavy gauge. This is a jazz bass, and I have it set up really similar to my other bass guitar with the Seymour Duncan's, except the difference between this guitar and that one is that it starts with a B string, so you have your standard setup after that, so it's B, E, A, D. I put a badass bridge on it because the strings are rather heavy and I wanted to put a nice big beefy bridge on it. This one was not meant for a jazz bass at all. I had to route this in. I had to sink it in about 1/4 of an inch because it was way too tall, which is kind of cool. It makes it, you know, it gives it the effect that I wanted even better than I had anticipated. I like to use this orange for smaller clubs, like 350 to 600 capacity. It's got a narrow sound, but it's nice and hot, and it's got a great tone. It's a lot easier to work with in these smaller venues where the bass doesn't really get trapped very well. I prefer an all tube sound, which can get messy in a place like this. I use an A10 cabinet because I feel like it's the most efficient way to work. You know, you can pretty much get any kind of sound you want out of it. I prefer like a nice punchy, even. If you look at my equalizer, you can see I just have it pretty much all the way across 12 o'clock. And yeah, I just let the guitars speak for themselves for the most part. This is the most important pedal. It's a tuner pedal, and without the tuner pedal, I am lost. I use it a lot. I use this as my primary pedal. I just have it on constantly. It's also my DI box. It sends a nice hot signal to the PA system, so by the time it gets there, it already sounds pretty good. And as you can see, it's all 12 o'clock. You know, I don't really mess around with, I don't like add treble or bass or anything. I just let it be the way it sounds. Just adds a nice gain stage. And then I use a POG2 pedal, the Electro Harmonics, for parts like, you know, the chorus on Lydia, or like the bridge in the Mom song, to just add like almost like a low dissonance, and like it's just interesting. And I use this pedal constantly. I use it for like 90% of the time. I've had it for like 7 years. It's the Boss Bass Overdrive, and it's just a great pedal. And I use the OCD for special parts, like, you know, when I really want the bass to stick through, like in Claudeland on certain parts, or like on songs like Mom, where it's just like crazy, or like Fuck Me Up. It's just it's a lot of fun to use, but I don't always have it on. Just it's for special stuff. But the key here in this setup is to have the DI box before any of the distortion pedals, so that the PA system gets a nice clean signal, and that way we have clean bass underneath all of this distortion, because you lose a lot of bottom end when you use distortion. Even if they're bass pedals, you still lose the distortion. You still lose the bottom end.